The technology and manufacturing industries are often in the news, reporting job cuts in record numbers. These layoffs come at a time when consumers owe more money, have less equity in their properties, and are saving less than at any time in the past 20 years. For many, the economic boom may become a bust. Bankruptcy filings in the first quarter of 2001 were up over 15% from the same period in 2000. Although careless spending, particularly purchases on credit, is likely to result in unwanted consequences, even the most responsible and conscientious person can experience a change in economic circumstances that may be financially and psychologically devastating. Lifetime careers sometimes die an early death. If you become ill, there is often too little or no disability insurance. A job loss or illness can make it difficult, if not impossible, to meet your financial obligations. Lenders who were once pursuing you to lend you money will soon pursue you to get the money back if you fail to make the required payments. The only way to avoid having creditors is to avoid having any debt. However, most people have a mortgage on their homes, have purchased one or several vehicles on credit, may have a consumer loan for household items, and have a number of credit cards. Your creditors, mortgage and finance companies, banks, credit card companies, etc., all expect to get paid. When you do not pay, your creditor has a number of options available in attempting to collect an outstanding debt. The creditor can send your account to a collection agency. The agency rather. Then the creditor will then write and call you to try to collect the payment. If the creditor assigns its right to the account, the collection agency can sue for the amount due in its own name. Report your unpaid bill directly to a credit reporting service, credit bureau, and then send it to a collection agency. Get a judgment against you in court. Foreclose on your real estate and get a deficiency judgment if the sale proceeds are not enough to cover the debt. Repossess your personal property that is used as security for a loan, sell it, and get a deficiency judgment if the amount of the sale is not enough to cover the debt. Get an assignment of property you are expecting to receive, such as a tax return or royalties. Take your property either before or after getting a judgment against you. YOURIGHTSWHENYOUOWETOOMUCH. 18. Garnish your wages, or force you into bankruptcy. Although most people do not openly discuss financial problems, they are a reality of life, particularly in an economy where thousands of people are being laid off or terminated from their jobs. Even if you are getting unemployment benefits, they may not be sufficient to meet the financial obligations you took on while earning a good wage or salary. It is easy to become overwhelmed by the pressure of collectors' calls and a mailbox full of overdue bills being served with a summons in a lawsuit filed by a creditor to collect an unpaid debt. A good possibility if your bills are overdue is an experience most people would rather live without. Becoming overwhelmed or having anxiety attacks does not solve financial problems. In order to deal with financial setbacks effectively, it is important to have an understanding of what your rights are, the extent a creditor can actually go in collecting a debt, and how you can defend yourself against the actions your creditors might take to collect debts. This book will explain what types of actions creditors can take against you for non-payment and your possible defenses to those actions. The federal laws apply if you enter into a written agreement with the creditor regarding the debt. The extension of credit is for personal, family, or household purposes. INTRODUCTION. 19. If the creditor or collector involved during the immediately preceding calendar year entered into agreements with consumers involving interest or finance charges or extensions of credit involving more than 4 installments more than 25 times, and payments are to be made in more than 4 installments, or interest is added which was not previously charged. This book contains information about your rights under these FEDERAL laws regarding collection agencies, credit reporting, see consumer loans, credit cards, and leases in chapters 4, 5, 8, and 9. An isolated transaction with someone to whom you owe money will probably not be regulated by federal law, however, there may be state laws for your protection. Chapters 12 and 13 deal with judgments and collections, and they will apply whether or not your loan or lease transaction is subject to federal law. In a good economy, lenders readily give credit to most people. Many lenders even have employees whose sole job is to find borrowers. In some cases, perhaps lenders were overly zealous in their efforts to extend credit to you, and now when times are tough, you may find it difficult to repay those obligations. There are numerous laws that have been enacted to protect borrowers from certain lender and creditor tactics, and you may find that you indeed have some recourse by reading this entire book. Having a better understanding of the different types of debt you have incurred and what your legal rights are in the event of your inability to repay a loan or credit obligation will help. YOURIGHTSWHENYOUOWETOOMUCH. XX. You take control of whatever financial dilemma you may find. You should take some comfort in knowing that you can no longer be put into prison for being in debt based upon any type of contractual obligation to pay. Rhode Island Statute. Chapter 10 to 13 provides that a debtor must be released from prison after swearing to the judge that he has no money or property with which to pay the debt. Being in overwhelming debt should be viewed as a temporary condition in which you may find yourself due to present circumstances. It is a condition that can be changed through your own efforts in dealing with creditors, or perhaps ultimately filing a bankruptcy petition. Chapter 14 will give you bankruptcy information. The most important point to keep in mind is that all hope is not lost. Chapter 17 will help you better protect yourself from financial problems in the future. Some chapters include a section on how to exercise your rights or defenses with some sample letters and forms. You should use these with other resources available to you, including your local law library. Often your local library will have books that contain your state as well as federal laws, your state or district attorney's office, your local court clerk, and your state or local consumer affairs or public service office. The state offices are listed at the back of this book as Appendix B. There may be a government printing office bookstore in your area that has publications available regarding the federal Truth in Lending Disclosure Requirements, the Fair Credit INTRODUCTION. 21. Billing Act, the Consumer Credit Reporting Reform Act of 1996, the Fair Credit Leasing Act, and other information. See Appendix A. For your convenience and for further research, the sources of information are listed at the end of each chapter. Information about credit and your rights as a consumer is available from Federal Consumer Information Center, Pueblo, Colorado, 81009. 800-668-9889. http://www